Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and I've been reselling for 17 years and I absolutely love it. And now I have this YouTube channel also, which I like to share what I've learned through the years and continue to learn to try to help others that are on this same reselling journey. I have a what sold video out every week, and then I try to have at least one, sometimes two other videos out, which are hauls or some type of educational tutorial video. If you're new here and would like to join me again, just hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell if you would like to know when I release new videos. So it is Q4, it's officially begun. Q4 is the last quarter of the year, so it's October 1st through the end of December. And traditionally, sales go through the roof this time of year. For me, it's going to be interesting because this is the first year that I've really scaled back and I'm only putting about 10 to 15 hours a week into reselling. So I'm curious what my numbers will look like. It is a great time for resellers, and I hope that all of your sales go through the roof over these next few months. And remember to be sure and have all of your shipping supplies that you might need, because sometimes it's a little slower getting them this time of year. So if you order the free supplies through USPS, do it right away, because if you wait just a little bit longer, it takes a lot longer to get things in. If you haven't seen my shipping video, I go over step by step how to order the shipping supplies, and also it is a great time saver to do a USPS carrier pickup. That really helps also. So just a reminder to do that, to be in the best position possible in case your sales just really pick up. You want to maximize your time. So last week I sold 43 items for a gross amount of $1,038.79. I had sales on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. If you stick around till the very end, I will have the complete breakdown of all of my numbers for you. But it's really interesting. I sold almost as much on eBay as Poshmark this week, and I have a lot fewer items on eBay. I have around 280 on eBay and around 700 on Poshmark, yet I'm selling just about as much money because I've started really concentrating. I got rid of any of the old items that I thought were weighing my store down and kind of started fresh, and I have a lot of items on Poshmark that I don't have on eBay, but I have been cross-posting them, and you will see on here, I'll let you know some of the items that I had on Poshmark and then cross-listed to eBay, how quickly they sold once they got onto eBay. So we will start on Poshmark. I sold 28 items for a gross amount of $542. The first item I got on my Goodwill haul with my husband when we went to Edmond, Oklahoma, and this was the black rivet pea coat jacket slash coat. I always put jacket and coat if I have enough characters. And it was size 2X, and I did not find a lot on this brand, but the coat was so nice, and it being a size 2XL, a trench coat black, I thought it was worth a try, and it paid off because it sold for $35. My earnings were $25.54. I paid $7.49 at the Goodwill in Edmond. I listed that on July 25th. So I found a lot of coats and sweatshirts and sweaters that day, listed them in July, and they didn't sell then, but now I'm seeing a lot of those things that I listed in the summer that were readily available because other people weren't looking for them in the summer. They're selling now. So I find that that's a good strategy, is look in the store where a lot of other people are not looking. So it took 2 months and 7 days to sell, and my profit was $18.05. The next one came from one of my ThredUp rescue shoe boxes. This was the Time and True memory foam black pointed toes flats in size 8.5. And Time and True, I went on one of the videos, I was like, where is that? Walmart, Target? And I was walking through Walmart and saw it, so I know now that it is Walmart. And it sold for my asking price of $16. My earnings were $12.80. I paid $5.26 per pair of shoes in that box, and my profit was $7.54 on a Walmart brand that was pre-owned. I think that's amazing. And when I unboxed that one, I said I would list it at 16, but be willing to take 10. I ended up selling it for more than I had anticipated, so super happy about that one. The next one was from another ThredUp shoebox. This was the International Concepts jewel thong with strap sandals in size 6.5, and it sold for $22. My earnings were $17.60. I paid just $5.26, and my profit was $12.34, and it only took 9 days to sell. So on that ThredUp rescue box, in the first 9 days, I sold a gross amount of $95. I've received back $76. That box cost $84.30. So I am just $8.30 away from making up my cost of goods, and then it will all be profit after that. So I think that's great in 9 days. Then the next one is an Eddie Bauer Kids Sherpa Line flannel jacket in size 10-12. And this one I thought was just nice. It was flannel, Sherpa lined. I was like, oh, I really like that. Then I looked up comps and they just didn't look like that it would sell for that much. I actually got that on my Goodwill haul giveaway from last month, and I thought, this one's kind of risky. I shouldn't put this in the giveaway box, but it ended up selling for my full asking price of $20. My earnings were $16. I paid just 84 cents, and it took only 13 days to sell. My profit was $15.16. So while it is so important to really look at comps, sometimes it is okay to get something because I know flannel goes really well, I know Sherpa line goes really well, and I just felt like it was worth the risk at the bins, not very much money, that I thought I could sell it, and it was worth a try for me, and it paid off. The next one came from another ThredUp shoe rescue box. I've ordered a lot of them lately, so of course I have a lot of sales from ThredUp shoe rescue boxes. This one was from my second ThredUp rescue box, and on that one, I go through the entire process, the cleaning, the photography. I go through the listing process on one pair. So if you are interested in seeing the entire process, then that's a good video to watch. If you'd like to see my entire process start to finish. These were the Ugg Bailey Bow shoes, and there was no size in them. So I wear a size 6. I tried them on, and I felt like they were a little big on me, so I just put they fit me like about a 7 or a 7.5. So I thought that was a reasonable size. And I did put on that listing that they do show normal wear, and most is around the back of the heel, but they still have a lot of life in them. I try to, if I give a negative, give a positive also, like, yes, it does have some scratches, but these are beautiful boots, or there is a little part rubbed off on them, but the structure of the boots are excellent. So I try to always be sure to remind them of the good qualities when I'm presenting the bad qualities also. And these sold for $28. My earnings were $19.94. I paid $6.77 per pair of shoes in that ThredUp rescue box, and my profit was $13.17. And so I thought that was great for something that had some wear and didn't have a size. Excellent. And on there, I had put that I would list them at 40 and would accept 25. So it's still above my lowest. Then the next one was from a Goodwill bins haul, and this one was a vintage Y2K Adidas track jacket windbreaker, and I messed up on it. The tag said July 2001. So on my title line, I should have put 2001, but I don't know if it auto-corrected or if I just messed up, but I had 2021, so I'm like, what a dork, but it sold anyway. And it had a couple burn marks in it. So if it hadn't had those, I would have held out and sold it for a little bit more. But considering it had a couple burn marks, I was willing to sell it for less, and I just disclosed that in the listing. I got an offer for $15, so I accepted it. My earnings were $12. I paid just 80 cents at the Goodwill bins. It took 3.5 weeks to sell, and my profit was $11.20. Then I had a few Free People items. I sold 16 Free People items this week. I'll share a couple of them with you, but a lot of them are repeats that I've sold over and over again. I sold the Free People Too Cute bodysuit. I sold 2 of them this week, one for $24 and one for $22. My earnings were $16.74 and $17.60. I paid just $8.16 for each of these. So my profit on one was $8.58, and my profit on the other was $9.44. Then another liquidation item that I will share with you is the Free People Mari bralette in size small. It sold for $17. My earnings were $11.14. I paid $4.58, and my profit was only $6.56. But I have a lot of those. So they're not huge profits, but small profits add up. I got all of those from Fox Liquidation. That's the only liquidation place I've ever purchased from. If you're interested in purchasing from them, my code is, I'll pop it up, it's Debbie5. If you would like to order from them, you'll get 5% off your order, and I would also greatly appreciate it if you use my code. Then we will move on to eBay, and I am really happy with a lot of my sales on eBay. I sold 13 items for a gross amount of $470.81. So I sold a lot less items to sell close to the same amount, and my profit was pretty close. I'll get into all of my total numbers in a few minutes. So I am really pleased with that. The first one, I got this one on the Goodwill haul where I took my husband and we were sourcing for the September 15th giveaway. And remember, I'll have another one on October 15th. So be sure you watch my giveaway video on October 15th. And this one, I didn't know if it would sell or not, and I couldn't really find any great comps, but my husband picked it up and he said, Snap-on tools, that's good. So I thought, okay, we'll try that. And so I listed it. It was in really nice condition, black. It was a good size, extra large. And so I thought I would give it a try. Well, it only took 4 days to sell. It sold for a gross amount of $25.85. My earnings were $14.10. I paid just $1 for it at the Goodwill bins, and my profit was $13.06. So really surprised and happy with that one. And on hoodies, I will usually use the word hoodie and hooded, sweatshirt. Those are good keywords to put in there. Then the next one was something from my ThredUp men's rescue box. This was a vintage LL Bean orange stripe button down Oxford shirt. It's how you know if it's a button down or a button up on the collar. If the collar buttons down, that's a button down. So this dress would be a button up. It would not be a button down because the collar does not button down. This one sold for $20.91. My earnings were $12.67. I paid $5.03 per item in that men's ThredUp rescue box. It would have been less. It would have been about $3, but I took out the items that I didn't think were worth my time to list, or the sell-through rate was awful. So I just took the items that I was listing and divided them for the cost of goods. So that ended up putting it up to $5.03. And that box has been excellent. The profit has been great. This is a little one, but I've had some really great big sellers out of that. This one took 3 months and 4 days to sell, and my profit was $7.64. The next one was one of my favorite brands to find. I love selling Ariat. These boots I found at the bins, and there was one, and it's this aqua color with leopard print, and it really stood out, but I didn't see the other one, and I was like, okay, this stands out. I should be able to find it. So I went and I stepped back and just kind of scanned all the shoe bins, and I found it, and I was so excited. And this was in a Goodwill haul where I had my daughter Morgan and her friend Twan went with me. I took a little while to list these because they were kind of dirty, and I put them in my laundry room under the sink and forgot about them. And so the other day I pulled them out and I was like, oh, how could I have forgotten to list these? I'm sure these will sell fast. Ariat is always a great seller. And they did. They only took 8 days to sell. They sold for $45.56. My earnings were $27.60. I paid just $2.50, and after listing them, they only took 8 days, and my profit was $25.10. I was able to find all the information on them, so I was able to provide detailed information in the listing. I also put in the listing that they had dirt spots, and it did not keep them from selling. Had I not put in that there were spots that were dirty and they received them, well, they could be disappointed. They could end up doing a return, and then it would come back to me and I would be out money. So if ever there's a flaw or anything wrong, be sure that you put it. And my experience is things still sell. It is a very bad idea to not disclose any issues. Then the next one is an Eileen Fisher linen blend open front blazer in size large. It sold for $31.89. My earnings were $20.44. I sourced this on ThredUp and not on a rescue box or anything. I went through the traditional way of buying on ThredUp, and I just went and sorted the brand Eileen Fisher, sorted from lowest to highest, found some items that were a really low cost and purchased them. I paid $8.24, and I listed this a while ago, months ago, on Poshmark. So after cross-listing it onto eBay, it sold in just 8 days, and my profit was $12.20. But I had an issue, not with the item, but with USPS. Once in a while, it seems like a couple times a year, when they pick it up and scan it, they will accidentally scan it as delivered instead of received. So I had quite a few items go out that day. I would say probably 10 or 12 items. All of a sudden, I get all these messages that say, my item shows it was delivered in Oklahoma. I don't even live in Oklahoma. I live in New York. Something's wrong. And I just got a flood of messages, and people really pay attention to that tracking. And so what I did was I just messaged each of them and said, oh, I'm so sorry. This has happened in the past before, and the carrier just accidentally scanned them as delivered instead of received. And as soon as they get scanned in somewhere along the way, the tracking will update. And it did. It took a couple days. Some of the items have been delivered, and a couple of them I saw were out for delivery today. Several of the people were pretty upset, but the key on dealing with people that are upset is respond right away, apologize, let them know, oh, I'm so sorry. I understand how frustrating that is, and I will do everything I can to help you. I will keep watch on the tracking. And so I did. And so when I would see an update, I would copy it and I would send it to them and let them know where it was. That way they knew that I was doing everything on my end that I could, and everybody ended up being nice and understanding. And one of the people even said, I know it wasn't your fault. Thank you for helping me. So if ever that happens to you and you have a carrier pickup, or even if you take it into the post office and you drop it in the slots. I've had that happen once before, where it was actually accidentally scanned delivered, and it showed the day that you know that you sent it, it's showing delivered into your city. That's what happened, and 100% of the time the things have ended up being delivered. Then the next one is another example of an item that I cross-listed and it sold like that. I had this on Poshmark for about a year. This was a Polo Ralph Lauren V-neck men's sweater in size medium. I do like picking up men's Polo Ralph Lauren in sweaters. They usually sell pretty well if I get them for the right price. I'll avoid a lot of times button-down shirts and regular polo shirts, but sweaters are good. It sold for $32.54. My earnings were $21.63. I paid $5.34 at a regular Goodwill, and it sold 2 days after cross-listing it from Poshmark, and my earnings were $16.29.
One other thing I might mention, the buyer of this sweater reached out to me and asked why the shipping was $12, and I responded with the note I have posted that it is on calculated shipping, but I would be happy to squeeze it in a flat rate envelope and it would save a few dollars. Normally, I wouldn't put a sweater in a flat rate envelope because it is squeezed, but he knowingly is purchasing it knowing that it's going to be squeezed into a flat rate envelope, and he is okay with that to save a few dollars, and I made a sale by doing that.
I am now on the ball. I have been first thing in the morning before I do anything else. I am getting on and I'm cross-listing items to eBay to get my store back up there. I have a lot of listings. I'm going to make sure they're quality listings with a good sell-through rate, but it is definitely working. Then the next one is from my Ross haul. This was the Under Armour Project Rock Rinse Dew Tank in size small. It sold for $37.26. My earnings were $26.84. I paid just $5.39 at Ross. It took 41 days to sell, and my profit was $21.45. So I'm now in the profit on that haul, and I will pop up exactly where I am at on that. I forgot to write it down, so I will insert it now. So after 41 days, I am now in the profit, and I still have more items to sell. And this one came from my latest ThredUp rescue box, and it actually sold before I even had a chance to edit that video. And so I showed in the video that it sold. Oh, what are these? Yay, this is a good brand, Corral. Okay. Yeah, some cool looking, very fringy Western boots, Corral. Those are good. I have a feeling these could be a good seller. But now I'll give you the numbers. It sold for a gross amount of $93.86. My earnings were $68.18. I paid $5.62 per pair of shoes in that ThredUp rescue box, and it took just 2 days to sell. My profit would have been $62.56. However, I paid Sydney $3 per listing to list those, and my profit was $59.56. And some people have said, oh, that's a lot to pay her, and yes it is. And I put in that video, my goal is not to make money from Sydney helping me. My goal is to help her. I want her to have an opportunity to earn some extra money. I have in the past had someone work for me. It was a boy in college, just a super smart neighbor, and I paid him $1 a listing, and he did really well. This was probably 10 years ago. He worked all summer, and he did really well. He said he was making about $20 an hour working for me, and he was a hard worker. So that I was trying to make money, and I did. My sales went so high that I could not keep up, and I thought, you know what? I don't need to make this much money. It's more important for me to be able to take care of my kids. I made a decision that I didn't want to scale up. What I could do on my own was plenty. It was more than enough. And so I made a decision that I didn't want to have employees because it ended up making me work more, and that's not what I wanted to do at that time of my life. Then the next one, I have a lot of shoes. This one came from the bins though. This was the Sam Edelman Penny Tall Riding Boots, leather, size 9.5. I found out information about them, and it said wide calf. That is a good thing to put on the listing. They sold for $51.67. My earnings were $31.05. I paid $2.50 at the Goodwill bins. I cross-listed these from Poshmark, and they took 1 day to sell after cross-listing them. My profit was $28.55. So I have decided that I really like ListPerfectly. I had tried it out quite a while ago and used it a little bit, and I thought it was good, but never really dedicated a lot of time to using it. And over the last week, I have woken up in the mornings and said, okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some things cross-listed because I think it will be worth it. And it is so much, and it makes it really easy. I think if you are only listing 10 or 20 items a month, it's not really worth it. But if you are listing 10 items a day, it is very well worth it and ends up being a small cost per item. So I finally, since I've really tested it out and enjoy it, I applied to get an affiliate link. So if you are interested in trying ListPerfectly and want to use my affiliate link, that would be awesome. And then you get 30% off your first month. So I will have that link down below. And if you are interested in trying it, I am really enjoying it a lot, and I think it is beneficial to save time and make more money. Now for my numbers, I will put them up to the side. I won't say every single number, but if you want to pause it and look at the numbers more carefully, you can look at each of the numbers. I sold a total of 43 items for $1,038.79. Money back in the bank after any fees or shipping discounts was $740.19. Cost of goods was $216.06, and a couple of those Sydney had listed, so I took that out on cost of goods. My refunds were $24.01, so I had not had a refund in a long time. You know, I'm glad that I had been saying in my videos, I haven't had a return in a long time, I haven't had a refund in a long time, because it made me realize, okay, I haven't, and this is completely okay. And when you have a refund on eBay, you are refunded back the fees for that also. So her refund was $28.99, but the amount that came out of my bank was $24.01. So you do get your fees back. Then on Poshmark, I sold 28 items for a gross amount of $542. After fees was $411.17. My cost of goods was $144.99.
and my profit was $266.18.
On eBay, just 13 items for $470.81. My cost of goods was $61.07, and my profit was $247.64. Poshmark profit, $266. eBay profit, $247. So close, and I have so many less listings on eBay. So I'm really going to cross list, and I've usually kept my eBay store around 1,000, 1,100 or so, and it is really low. So I am going to work hard to get my numbers back up there because I know that will result in a lot more sales. Then on Mercari, just 2 items in there, both items that I have multiple quantities and have shown before, so I won't go through all of the numbers on that. The gross sales were $25.98 after fees, $20.31. My cost of goods was $10, and my profit was $10.31. So not a lot, but that adds up. And I looked at where my items came from. Of the 43 items, 19 of them came from liquidation, 16 of them came from Goodwill, and 8 of them came from retail arbitrage. That is everything from this week, and I had a comment on last week's What Sold video, and someone said what they had sold, their best sales of the week, and it was like a Coogee 3X sweater, and it sold for a really good amount. I think it was like $130, and then a Western shirt for like $45. I'll have to pop it up. And I thought, wow, that's so neat to see that. So I thought if any would like to share a couple of your best sales or your best sell from the previous week, and then we can all read each other's comments, that is great because that will give everybody an idea of what is selling for a good amount. So that's kind of a great little way to have another BOLO list. So I would love it if you are interested in sharing. No pressure, you don't have to, but if you would like to, that would be great. So that is everything for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you. Bye.